Nama. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Vedic astrology coach Rajat Kapoor and welcome to my channel The Legit Astrologer. In my channel I make videos on Vedic astrology, I talk about the transits. Today I'm here to talk about Jupiter, who is joining the retrograde season very soon along with his friend Saturn. Though Saturn will be very soon moving in a direct motion, Jupiter will begin its preparation for the retrograde motion in the sign of Cancer. Jupiter, Devaguru Brihaspati is going Vakri on 11th of November and it is going to stay in this motion till 11th of March 2026. So for about 120 days, Jupiter will be retrograde. Some important dates for you. 11th of November, Jupiter starts its retrograde motion. However, 4 days before that, around 7th of November, it will begin its stationary position, which is Stambhana. So for about 4 to 5 days from 7th of November, Jupiter will be stationary, extremely powerful, extremely beneficial, because firstly, it is in its exaltation sign, which is Cancer. It is also in Cancer Navamsha, which means it is Vargottama. And based on some special calculations, it is also in Pushkar Amsha, which is a very auspicious position of Jupiter. It is going to be extremely powerful, extremely blessings worthy. And this time period from 7th of November for about 4 to 5 days is an extremely important time for us for any kind of manifestation that is associated to Jupiter, wealth, children, our aspirations, our optimism, family matters, our work, knowledge, wisdom. Jupiter is a natural significator of the second house of family, our wealth, significator of the fifth house of our future, children, positional success, ninth house of fortune, bhagya, dharma, higher and spiritual education, and also the 11th house of labh or gains or our income or the material comforts. So whenever Jupiter goes retrograde or Guru goes retrograde, it is neither good, neither it is bad. Some people say that Saturn going retrograde as a malefic is good, Jupiter going retrograde is not good. It depends on a number of factors. Firstly, a planet going retrograde appears to be more closer to the Earth. Firstly, any planet going retrograde appears to be more closer to the Earth in terms of its proximity. So during this time, Jupiter will be clearly visible in the night sky. When it appears to be more closer to the Earth, it has extreme energy, it has extreme significance, and of course its brightness, its rays are able to reach our planet without any obstruction, and it has a high sense of desire, which is it has increased cheshta bal. It also brings unfulfilled purpose from the previous birth. So those people who have a natal retrograde Jupiter, Saturn, Jupiter or any other planets will face the maximum effect during this transit. When a planet goes retrograde, it appears to be moving backwards, which means it wants you to look back, reflect, take corrective steps, take corrective actions. Now, what is so different about Jupiter being retrograde in the current time? Jupiter is in its Atichari motion, which is an extremely fast-paced Jupiter till about 2031-32. Now, what is happening here is that in frequent transits, year on year, you will see Jupiter changing signs, then going retrograde back into the sign. Presently, if you take an example of the current transit, Jupiter is entering Cancer, it will go retrograde and then back to Gemini. Next year, Jupiter will enter Cancer, then it will enter Leo, it will go retrograde back to Cancer. Thereafter, the sequence is going to continue till 2032, which means that it is moving through two different signs, which is an uncomfortable pace for Jupiter. Jupiter is optimism, he is Jiva. Therefore, we will have an increased rise of pessimism in this world. Now, these retrogression or when Jupiter is regulating the pace, especially during this time, is a wonderful opportunity for us to have faith in optimism. Jupiter represents Jiva. It is associated to all the living beings on this planet. Therefore, its movement plays an important role on all of us. Jupiter from a scientific point of view as well has been proven to be protecting our planet in various matters. So of course its transit plays a very important and a vital role. What is happening during the retrograde transit? Jupiter will have high cheshta bal, high amount of desire. So there will be two things that we'll read. One is of course it will look back at the previous house, try to re-evaluate things, try to convince you, try to push you towards reflection. You need to go back, take some corrective steps. Secondly, it will have a high sense of desire, which means its seventh aspect is going to be extremely strong. While Jupiter will be in Cancer, it will have a strong aspect on the sign of Capricorn. Jupiter will start behaving as if it's Jupiter sitting in the sign of Capricorn. Therefore, we say that when an exalted planet goes retrograde, it starts acting as if it's a debilitated planet, and vice versa. When a debilitated planet goes retrograde, it starts acting as if it's an exalted planet. When Jupiter will move in Gemini, that will be on 5th of December. So between 5th of December till 11th of March, Jupiter will be retrograde in the sign of Gemini. This is where it will have a very strong drishti on the sign of Sagittarius. This means Jupiter will start behaving as if it is sitting in its Mool Trikon sign of Sagittarius, which is the own space of Jupiter, a very comfortable space of Jupiter. So I do consider a brief phase when it is in Cancer retrograde to not be that good, but when it is retrograde in the sign of Gemini, it is going to be in a very good dignity, and it is an optimum time for us to reflect, take some corrective steps and move forward in the most positive manner. Now let's try and understand how Jupiter's retrograde transit is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs or the moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant sign, from your Lagna primarily. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. I am here to give you a very simple yet elaborative view between 11th of November 2025 till 11th of March 2026. Aries ascendant signs or the Aries moon signs. Jupiter is an important planet for you because it is your Bhagyesha. He is the one who rules fortune, your 9th house, long journeys, higher education, spiritual education. It also becomes the 12th lord. So for any devotional matters, Devaguru Brihaspati plays a very important role. He is the one who rules your losses, expenditure, your higher self-consciousness, your ability to donate and your bed comforts, and also your ability to be more self-aware. This Jupiter initially will go retrograde on 11th of November in your 4th house. So what is happening around this time is that Jupiter is going to usually have its 5th and the 9th aspect, but its 7th aspect on the sign of Capricorn, which falls in your 10th house, is going to be of greater significance, greater importance. Firstly, Jupiter will behave as if it's sitting in Capricorn in your 4th house, so it will push you out of your comfort zone because it will not be at ease at the moment. So you have to take some corrective steps, you have to take some actions with regards to things that are pertaining to your home, your family, your assets. You could have some issues with a vehicle, you could have some issues at your home. Particularly, the northeast direction or the northeast side of your home is something which you have to be careful of because that's the direction ruled by Jupiter. Now, Jupiter will have a 7th drishti on your 10th house, so it wants you to focus a lot in terms of bringing your wisdom at work. Take some corrective steps, take some corrective actions. It is also looking back at your 3rd house, so it wants you to re-evaluate your efforts. If your efforts are not delivering the desired results, there is something that you need to change. Maybe you need to be more creative in your approach. Maybe you need to enhance your communication in anything and everything that you do. So this is going to be the brief phase of Jupiter wherein it will push you out of your comfort zone. You will get to try new things. You can get a new assignment. You could be put in an uncomfortable position momentarily. On 5th of December, it re-enters Gemini and continues its retrograde motion. So this is where you will re-evaluate your financial and family matters. You will take some very corrective steps when it comes to your money management, where your family is involved, where your assets is involved, because of course Jupiter will be momentarily looking back at your 2nd house and it will have a very strong aspect on the 9th house. You can go on journeys, you will undertake some travel opportunities which will be quite fruitful for you. Jupiter will start behaving till 11th of March 2026 as if it's sitting in Sagittarius in its Mool Trikon sign where Jupiter will be at work. So during this time, whatever efforts you put, you're likely to have financial gains. Fortune is going to be favorable for you. From a remedial point of view, you must do something that involves your hands because 3rd house represents your hand, particularly your working hand. So for all those people who write from their right hand, that becomes your working hand. You can journal, put your wisdom and your thoughts down, pen and paper, using a pen and paper, and that becomes your purpose as well. It's an excellent time for pursuing higher education. In case you've been wanting to settle outside of your home country, you can definitely get an opportunity. In case there were some issues with regards to paperwork, documentation of any kind few months ago, now you can see some movement that will happen. It is a good time to reflect on matters related to your education and your expenditure. It will also be an optimum time to improve your sleep. Though Jupiter will be in Maran Karak position at this time in the third house, but it will be retrograde. So two negatives become extremely positive. It is a period of respite for you for the next few weeks, and this is where you can take some or make some critical decisions that are associated to your life. Continue to strengthen Jupiter using the Guru Mantra, a simple Guru Mantra that is Om Guruve Namah, 12 times or 108 times will be extremely beneficial for you, and my best wishes for you. Taurus ascendant signs or the Taurus moon signs. Jupiter is going to go Vakri or retrograde on 11th of November in the sign of Cancer. An exalted Jupiter going retrograde would mean that it would start behaving as if it's in debilitation. The reason for this is that when a planet goes Vakri, it has a very strong aspect of desire, which is 7th from its position, which is a sign of Capricorn. Therefore, Jupiter, though will be still sitting in your third house in exaltation and also in Maran Karak position, when it begins its retrograde motion between 11th November till 5th of December, it is in Cancer. It will have a very strong aspect on the 9th house, and of course this Jupiter will behave as if it's debilitated in your third house. Now it is debilitated, also Maran Karak and retrograde. So this is increasing and bringing a ray of positivity in your life because it will make you reflect. Firstly, it wants you to reflect back and look at your financial decisions pertaining to your second house, pertaining to your family, your speech related concerns. Maybe you said something which resulted in a conflict kind of situation in the past, and now you have to take some corrective actions or corrective steps. It will also make you very conscious of what you say, how you say, when you say, and this could be a very good time to bring in some positive changes in your diet. See, when a planet is Maran Karak and also retrograde, so it becomes positive because there are two negatives here. So it's a good time for you to put in efforts, put in extra efforts. You can undertake journeys. Jupiter for you is not the most ideal planet because it becomes your 8th lord and the 11th lord. It rules the house of adversities, and it also rules the house of Labh, gains. But 11th house is also the house of enemies, bigger enemies. It is also the house of Maya, illusion. So it becomes the cause of obstruction, and Jupiter shares an inimical relationship with your Lagna Lord Venus. So from a remedial point of view, you must continue to strengthen Venus and also Mercury, because later Jupiter will enter Gemini on 5th of December. And between 5th of December 2025 till 11th of March 2026, it is going to stay in a retrograde motion in your second house. This is where it is trying to put greater focus on your ascendant, on your Lagna. Wisdom building, knowledge making, knowledge building and knowledge sharing. That has to be the theme of life. You will have to work a lot on yourself. If you've been looking forward to losing weight or probably getting back on track, you can face some difficulties. You will have to put in extra efforts, but please stick to the path, stick to the goals that you have. This time period will increase your intelligence, will give you the power of decision making, and you can expect personal level transformation. This is also forming a Dhan Yoga. So if you've had some delayed phase in terms of finances, in terms of payments, you are likely to see some movement when it comes to your financial position. So a lot of decisions need to be taken into account that are related to yourself. Jupiter will start behaving as if it's sitting in a sign of Sagittarius, which is its Mool Trikon sign, and this is where it will have a strong aspect on the 8th house, 8th house of longevity, your sense of weaknesses and how you can overcome adversities. It is going to bring in a huge change in your lifestyle. Either you bring it by yourself or Jupiter will push you towards it. Health concerns could be mostly average during this time. So as long as you take care of your routine, take care of your lifestyle, you would be in a good position. You could also see yourself to repay certain debts between December 2025 till March 2026 in case you have some debts that are going on. Continue to strengthen Mercury. Use a simple Vishnu mantra, that is Om Vishname Namah, or use a Mercury Bij mantra to give it due strength, and my best wishes for you. Gemini ascendant signs or the Gemini moon signs. Devaguru Brihaspati, Jupiter, the biggest planet of them all, the most benefic planet of them all, he becomes your 7th lord and the 10th lord, and now Jupiter is going retrograde or Vakri in the sign of Cancer on 11th of November. It will stay in the retrograde motion till 11th of March 2026. I have mentioned some interesting insights in the beginning of the video. You must watch it, the stationary position, and of course how it is having an impact from a karmic standpoint. Now this is happening in your 2nd house where it is moving in the exaltation sign. Jupiter has 2 roles for you. One, he is the Kendra Lord, Lord of the 7th house of Jaya Bhava, where we see peace and war, your marriage, married life, relationships, all those people who are opposite to you, and your attitude towards the outer world of people, things and events. This is the house of following, either the people who you follow or the people who follow you. It also becomes the 10th lord of your Karya Bhav, your work, your actions, your profession, and of course what you do to survive and sustain yourself in this world. Though Jupiter in the 2nd house is in Simhasana Yoga, it's a very good yoga for work-related progress. When it goes retrograde or Vakri, firstly, it will have a very strong aspect of desire on the 7th from its position, which is on your 8th house. It continues to have the 5th and the 9th aspect as well. But the 7th aspect is something which we have to pay attention because it will start behaving as if it is sitting in the sign of Capricorn. So firstly, you have to take some corrective steps, actions, decisions with regards to your finances. Protection of your finances, protection of your money, protection of your income is extremely important during this time. Stay and be aware of any financial fraudulent kind of transactions because you could be susceptible to any kind of financial fraud. So stay away and stay vigilant. Jupiter will be looking back at your ascendant. So during this time between 11th of November to 5th of December, it wants to focus on your personality, yourself. So time to increase wisdom, time to bring in a renewed focus in your self-optimism, self-confidence could increase, and of course you can look back at your past decisions where you are directly involved in these decisions. So it is an entire cycle which is probably coming to life. Thereafter on 5th of December, Jupiter moves back in your ascendant, and this is where it gains directional strength. Now when it moves back to Gemini, it's a special occasion for you because firstly it is gaining directional strength. Secondly, it will behave as if it's sitting in its Mool Trikon sign of Sagittarius, and which makes it extremely important, which makes it extremely powerful. There are blessings of Lord Shiva. You must look up to Lord Shiva. So you will have a renewed focus and a sense of confidence. But one thing that you have to fix between December through March 2026 is that you will have to reduce your expenditure. You will have to do some budget exercise, cut down on your expenditure and increase your self-awareness. From a spiritual standpoint, you will have to probably look back at some of your old past spiritual practices and some things that you will reinitiate in the current time. Jupiter will have a very strong aspect of desire on the 7th house. So it will improve your relationship, it will improve marital harmony, it will bring in a renewed sense of optimism. However, it will also bring in fat ego, wherein you will feel that you are very knowledgeable and you will try to overpower other people. If you do that, that could be detrimental towards your relationship with other people. And probably this ego can bring your downfall as well. So this is where you have to be absolutely careful, stay humble and stay vigilant at the same time. Continue to strengthen Mercury, who is the dispositor of Jupiter during this time, and he is the one who will continue to ensure that Jupiter gives you positive results and brings less obstacles, because when it is retrograde, the obstacles are likely to reduce compared to when it is in a direct motion. And my best wishes for you. Cancer ascendant signs or the Cancer moon signs. Devaguru Brihaspati or Jupiter will begin its retrograde motion on 11th of November, and it is going to stay in retrogression till 11th of March 2026. It will move through 2 signs. Initially in Cancer, that will move back to Gemini, and then it will go direct on 11th of March 2026. So how do we understand this? Firstly, Devaguru Brihaspati, Jupiter becomes your 6th lord and the 9th lord. It is an important planet. It shares a very good cordial relationship with your Lagna lord Moon. Though Jupiter and Moon also have a very bitter history, but Devaguru Brihaspati considers Moon as a friendly graha. He is the sixth lord of your daily routine, debts, diseases, health and well-being, your vitality. It is the house of growth, the Upachaya Bhava. It also represents enemies. He also becomes your ninth lord of Bhagya, long journey, higher education, spiritual education, and your dharma, your religion. Jupiter is currently making a transit in your ascendant. On 11th of November, it goes retrograde. So what is happening between 11th November till 5th December? That will look back at your 12th house. Try to re-evaluate your expenditure and your spiritual practices. And this is where you will focus to bring your expenditure down. You will focus to increase your spiritual practices. And you will also look at some past decisions where you made some expenses, whether they were the right expenses or not. And you will take some corrective actions, corrective steps, and also corrective steps with regards to your own self-awareness, because this is the house of your higher self-consciousness. Jupiter will behave as if it's Jupiter sitting in the sign of Capricorn. So personally, you will not feel very comfortable till early December. But after that, it is going to be a better time period, because then Jupiter moves to the 12th house and it continues its retrograde motion. So planet retrograde in the 12th house is not bad. It has the possibility to give a good results. However, while in Cancer, Jupiter also gains directional strength in the Lagna. There are blessings of Lord Shiva, and he is the one who will continue to protect you. Between 5th of December till 11th of March 2026, it moves in a retrograde motion in your 12th house. So this is where it is firstly looking back at the 11th house, which means it will create new ways of earning income. It will create new sense of material world, material comfort, and of course support finances. Your expenditure is likely to increase. This will be expenditure related to your karmas. So as long as you are expensing on yourself, on dharma, on your family, on your loved ones, it is good expenditure. But if you get impulsive of things, if you start linking to what you've done in the past and whether this was the right decision or not, this will be a very good deciding factor for you. Jupiter will start behaving as if it is sitting in the sign of Sagittarius, which is its own Multrikon sign. And of course, here it gets in great dignity, and this will increase your spiritual capacity. It is having a very strong aspect on the 6th house, which is 7th from itself, which means it will fix your daily routine, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, bring in a sense of wisdom. And between December 2025 till March 2026 is a good time for you to bring in a change in your lifestyle. You would struggle with regards to health related matters till then, but between December till March, it's a very good time to put your health back on track. In case you want to lose weight, things will be in your favor. In case you want to increase your spiritual practice, things will be in your favor. In case you want to give up some bad habits and embrace good habits, things will again be in your favor. To channelize this Jupiter, you can use a Dwadashakshari Vishnu mantra, that is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, or a simple Guru mantra, Om Guruve Namah, 12 times, and my best wishes for you. Leo ascendant signs or the Leo moon signs. Jupiter, Devaguru Brihaspati, is going retrograde on 11th of November 2025, and it is going to stay in this motion till 11th of March 2026 for about 120 days. It will go through two signs, the sign of Cancer and also the sign of Gemini. Currently, the transit is in your 12th house in its exaltation sign. Jupiter becomes your 5th lord and the 8th lord. It becomes a very important planet because it's your 5th lord. He is the one who rules your future, children, positional success. And for your success, for power, for authority, Jupiter plays a very important role. Jupiter also becomes the 8th lord of longevity, suddenness in life. This is the house of your adversities and how you can overcome your adversities. We see Nija dosha or your sense of weakness and how you can counter these weaknesses. That is the 8th lord. Now Jupiter making a transit in the 12th house in the sign of Cancer is a Viparita yoga in transit, because that's your 8th lord in the 12th house. When it goes retrograde, it is bringing in karmic repercussions, some unfulfilled purpose from the previous birth. It will be looking back at your 11th house primarily, and it will re-evaluate, help you to re-evaluate, reassess your financial decisions from the past, where your income was involved. Some relationship matters with your friends, maybe a past conflict that needs some action, that needs some corrective steps where you are involved and how you can resolve those matters. It will also make you very focused, very diligent about your social media practices and try to stay low key, less emotional and more practical in your approach. Jupiter will be behaving as if it's sitting in the sign of Capricorn. Mostly I would expect it to deliver positive results only between 11th of November till 5th of December with regards to your well-being, your health, your sense of protection. It is definitely giving you great protection. And it is also going to improve your sleep in case you have any sleep related issues. You have to certainly bring your expenditure down because that is something which can increase. As long as you expense, and that is related to your future and your children and your creative pursuits, it is good for you. Otherwise, it could be detrimental towards your well-being. Thereafter, on 5th of December, Jupiter re-enters Gemini, your 11th house. It continues its retrograde motion. And during this time, for the next 3 to 4 months, Jupiter will behave as if it's sitting in the sign of Sagittarius, which is a great place for Jupiter to be. And this is where it will have a strong aspect of desire, which is the 7th from its position, the aspect on your 5th house. Perfect time to plan for your future, a very good time to have children, and of course, good time for the progress and appreciation or some sort of recognition related to your children. For those who are planning to start a family, this time period could be extremely favorable for you from a karmic standpoint in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive. Jupiter will also put you or probably bring some positional success because it will be looking back at your 10th house. It will help you to re-evaluate your work choices, career related decisions, work priorities, what is working well for you. It will make you think that you need to have a differentiated approach towards your work, towards your karma. Maybe something that was working in the past might not work now, so you have to have a differentiated approach, something more creative where you can also use your wisdom and try to build cordial relationship. People at workplace will look up to you. You can become their go-to advisor. But this time period can bring some opposition, can bring some leadership or authority issues which you have to be prepared to face. As long as you stay ethical in your practice, there are no shortcuts to success. While Jupiter is in Gemini, it will also start keeping a check on Rahu. That of course helps channelize these negative energies and helps you to stay ethical. But 5th house is also the house of corruption. So stay in a very non-corrupted manner if you were to make the most of it. Continue to strengthen your loving Lord Surya and your 11th Lord Mercury throughout this time, and my best wishes for you. Virgo ascendant signs or the Virgo moon signs. Jupiter, Devaguru Brihaspati, who has already made a transit in his exaltation sign of Cancer, which is a short transit, is now going to go retrograde on 11th of November, and it will only move in direct motion on 11th of March 2026. So for about 120 days, it will be Vakri, which is 1/3 of a year. Now, what is happening here is that Jupiter will move through 2 signs. I have shared some very interesting insights in the beginning from a karmic standpoint, how to understand the retrograde energies. You must watch it. Jupiter for you has 2 kinds of roles. Firstly, it becomes the quadrant lord, lord of 2 Kendra houses, your 4th house and the 7th house. So it becomes your Sukhesha and your Daresha. This is absolutely pure Vedic terms. Sukhesha means he is responsible for happiness, your sense of comfort, your home, where you feel most happy, where you feel most protected. Your possessions are also seen from the 4th house, your assets are seen from the 4th house. Being the Daresha, it is the upholder of your secrets. It represents those people who follow you or those people who you follow. Therefore, we see spouse, marriage, partnership from the 7th house. Businesses are also seen from the 7th house. Jupiter is said to be suffering from Kendra Adipati dosha. Therefore, it also becomes the lord of obstacle or Badakesh, being the 7th lord. So here it has 2 roles to play. Of course, it has the capacity to deliver phenomenal results and also bring in obstacles. Now it has already entered your 11th house in its exaltation sign. 11th of November, it starts its retrograde motion. So it is looking back at the 10th house. It wants you to re-evaluate your career decisions, career choices, some decisions related to your past where you are involved, your colleagues are involved, your teams are involved, your bosses are involved, management is involved, and take some corrective steps. Make your presence felt because you will have to put extra efforts Try to leverage the power of your knowledge and your wisdom at work. And this is how you can excel. You can bring some positive shift, positive energies and synergies over the course of next 4 months when it comes to work related matters or your job related matters. That will be your number one priority over the course of next few weeks. Jupiter will behave as if it's sitting in the sign of Capricorn, but it will have a very strong aspect on your 5th house. So it's a very good short window for future planning, future decision making, and also staying ethical in anything that you do. If you have children, they could have some recognition, or you could probably see a positional success. This could be temporary, but you will see a sense of recognition during this time. Thereafter, on 5th of December, Jupiter re-enters your 10th house. It is now trying to re-evaluate your belief system, your dharma, which is your 9th house, your bhagya, higher education. So you need to look back at your spiritual practices and also your educational pursuits. If you had any blockages in the past, what was the reason for the blockage and how you can overcome that? Take some corrective steps and be the protector, be the messenger and the advocate of your dharma. You have to stick to your dharma, you have to stick to the path of righteousness. Good news is that when Jupiter is in Gemini between 5th of December till 11th of March 2026, it will behave as if it's sitting in Sagittarius, which means Jupiter will be in good dignity. So it's a good change. Jupiter is also the significator of the 10th house because he represents knowledge and wisdom. Jupiter is also a significator of the 11th house. So it is bringing a sense of peace at home because it behaves as if it's sitting in Sagittarius, having a very strong aspect on the 4th house. You will prioritize things. You will set up a boundary within yourself and try to stick to your boundary. You will have your personal priorities communicated, and of course you will be very assertive about it, very clearly set expectations with your people who you work with. Your health and vitality is going to see a significant improvement, significant change. This time period you can really improve your lifestyle, you can improve your eating habits, and a perfect time to declutter your workspace and also your home. Stay away from ego. If you become egoistic, that could be detrimental or can cause a blockage towards your success, and my best wishes for you. Libra ascendant signs or the Libra moon signs. Jupiter, Devaguru Brihaspati, is already moving through the sign of Cancer, which is its exaltation sign. On 11th of November, it goes retrograde or Vakri, joining the retrograde season of the year along with Saturn. Now, this is happening in your 10th house. But for the Libra ascendants, Jupiter does not hold a great lordship. It becomes your 3rd lord and the 6th lord. It shares an inimical relationship with your Lagna lord Venus. However, it will give results based on its natal placement, connections that it makes, and of course based on certain transits as well. So being the 3rd lord, it rules your valor, courage, change, growth is seen from this house because this is the Upachaya Bhava. It also becomes the 6th house lord of your efforts, of daily routine, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. We see debts, we see loans, and of course your ability to repay. So it plays a very important role in growth related matters, in efforts, and of course in daily routine. Jupiter will go retrograde in your 10th house initially in the sign of Cancer. So when it starts its retrograde motion, it will start behaving as if it is sitting in the sign of Capricorn. So for the initial first few weeks between 11th of November till 5th of December, it is going to create some sort of disruption, some sort of uncomfortable scenario at workplace. You could have some authority issues, you could have some clash with someone who perceives or seems to have knowledge, someone who's a very knowledgeable person, or probably someone who is egoistic at work. So be careful of such people who have a fat ego. This is a short period of window, but this time period, it is also looking back at your 9th house. It wants you to reassess, reevaluate your dharmic principles, what does it really mean for you, and how you can stick to the path of righteousness. It will have a very strong aspect on your 4th house, which is the 7th aspect of desire. It is a time period to set your personal priorities and how you can have a sense of balance between your work and your home life. Your home life and home matters will be of greater importance to you, and this is the kind of message which Jupiter is bringing in. So job related changes can happen. This can happen all of a sudden, or you can get a new project, new assignment, something that is totally new for you, which puts you out of your comfort zone. On 5th of December, it moves back to Gemini in your 9th house. Now this is a time till March 11, 2026 when Jupiter will behave as if it is sitting in the sign of Sagittarius, being in a great dignity. This will re-evaluate your past transformation, whether you were happy with that transformation or not. It will continue to make you more dharmic. Fortune is favorable because Jupiter is the significator of the 9th house, making a retrograde transit in this house, and it will be in a better dignity here. So you could expect minimum issues with regards to workplace, but you will have to take account of your transformation. There could be some health related concerns which might need your attention post 5th of December. So make sure that you continue to have a good, healthy, better lifestyle during this time. Now Jupiter will be aspecting your 3rd house by the 7th strong aspect of desire, which would make you go on journey. There could be travel opportunities. In case you've been looking forward to making a move outside of your home country, this time period could be favorable for you. If there is any paperwork which has caused a delay, any documentation related work, now you will see some movement. And this is also supportive for educational related pursuits. But this is where you have to be a little bit careful as well. You have to ensure that you're moving in the right direction when it comes to educational pursuits, because you could deviate from your path. You could very easily get distracted. So you have to increase your focus, and in order to build your focus, you need to have a morning routine. As long as you have a morning routine, you clear your mind out, you start focusing and being more attentive to things. Continue to strengthen your Lagna Lord Venus. Initially, Venus is making a very good transit in the sign of Libra. Also continue to strengthen your 9th Lord Mercury. Use the Bij mantra of Mercury in order to channelize these positive energies, and I wish you the very best. Scorpio ascendant signs or the Scorpio moon signs. Jupiter, Deva Guru Brihaspati, is going to go Vakri or retrograde on 11th of November for the next 120 days. This is happening in your 9th house in the exaltation sign of Jupiter, which means that momentarily till 5th of December, it will behave as if it is sitting in the sign of Capricorn, which is the Neecha Rashi of Jupiter. So therefore, an exalted planet, when it goes retrograde, starts acting as if it's a debilitated planet. This is where it will have high cheshtabal, high sense of desire. It will move through 2 signs, the sign of Cancer and the sign of Gemini. Jupiter for you is an important planet because it becomes your 2nd lord and the 5th lord. So it rules 2 Lakshmi bhavas that indicate wealth. 2nd house is the house of accumulation. It is your storage space. It's your speech, your vani, your family. It is the Kutumba bhava. It is also your dhan, whatever you accumulate in any form, resources, possessions, money, and it is also the 5th lord of your future positional success. We see children from this house. We see your creativity from this house. Therefore, financial matters, Jupiter plays a very important role. It is making a good transit in the 9th house in the exaltation sign, and Jupiter is also the significator or karaka of the 9th house. However, when it goes retrograde, it is going to bring a movement, a sudden shift in your life. You can have a sudden travel opportunity or a sudden movement. This is looking back at your 8th house. So it wants you to reassess, reevaluate your past transformation. So you have to go through some reflection exercise. This reflection exercise could be extremely beneficial for you. So you will reflect on your past mistakes and take some corrective actions, corrective steps, particularly if it is related to your lifestyle. Jupiter will start behaving as if it is sitting in the sign of Capricorn. So you have to be very protective of your bhagya and also of your dharma. Stick to the path of righteousness, be ethical in your practices, and at the same time it will have a huge aspect on your 3rd house while it is retrograde. So it will ensure any efforts that you put, you are likely to see results. If these efforts are associated to your future, to travel opportunities and also towards your family, you can have good results. But this is not the most ideal time for you to make any important financial decisions. For that, you can wait for the next few months. Thereafter, on 5th of December, Jupiter moves back to your 8th house in the sign of Gemini and continues to be retrograde. In the 8th house in Gemini, which is an inimical sign, and going retrograde makes it slightly positive. What it's going to do is, it is going to focus on your relationship, how you can have a sense of fulfillment in your relationship, how you can put extra efforts in your relationship. There is definitely past relationship karma. So you can come across people who you were in relationship previously or your old acquaintances, old contacts. Now, if you're in the lines of consulting or advisory or certain profession, this is a very good time period for you because other people will come to you to take your advice, to take your suggestion, to seek guidance. So you can become a very good advisor and be very diligent about bringing harmony in your relationship. Jupiter will behave as if it is sitting in the sign of Sagittarius, which is a great dignity for Jupiter, and having a strong aspect on your second house. Your finances will see some improvement. The flow of income could be continuous. You must ensure that you save your finances. You save for your tough, challenging times that could anyway come in the near future, because of course our life is full of ups and downs, and this is where you create that safe space for you. You secure yourself. So make some important financial decisions, build your savings, and at the same time do a budgetary exercise. You can use a Atichari Vishnu mantra, that is Om Namo Narayanaya, to channelize these energies, or a simple Guru mantra, that is Om Guruve Namah, 12 times in order to sail through this transit. Sagittarius ascendant signs or the Sagittarius moon signs. Jupiter making a retrograde transit on 11th of November for the next 120 days. So Devguru Brihaspati is your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant. So regardless of your dasha, antadasha, whatever dasha you're going through, whenever Jupiter goes retrograde, you're going to have an impact. Some karmas from the past are expected to resurface. A retrograde planet indicates unfulfilled purpose from the past, that includes the past life as well. And those having a natal retrograde Jupiter will have the max impact during this transit. It is moving through two different signs. So Devguru Brihaspati has already entered your 8th house in the exaltation sign of Cancer. When it goes Vakri, it starts acting as a debilitated planet. So in case you have a well disposed Jupiter in your chart between 11th of November till 5th of December and even till early March 2026, you are going to witness phenomenal results during this transit. If Jupiter is weak, if it is afflicted, then you can expect certain challenges, and you must do certain remedies to protect yourself, your body, your vitality, and your immunity. So when Jupiter goes retrograde in Cancer, it starts acting as if it's sitting in the sign of Capricorn, and it behaves as if it's a debilitated Jupiter in the 8th house. So it gives it good support, because this is a not so good house and a not so good dignity for Jupiter, which generally makes things positive, because two negatives becomes positive. Jupiter will have a strong aspect on your second house, which is the 7th aspect, due to its high Cheshta bal. So it wants you to protect your finances. It wants you to take some calculative steps, calculative decisions of joint finances where your family is involved. And this is a time wherein you have to fix your lifestyle. You have to bring in a change in your habits, in your eating, in your thinking, and of course to protect yourself and to improve your immunity. Otherwise, there could be health issues that you could expect till early December. This will be also looking back at your 7th house and will make you put more efforts towards your marital harmony. Jupiter rules your Lagna, yourself, your immunity, your vitality, your intelligence, and also the 4th house of your happy space, your comfort space. That is the Sukh Bhav. It is that place where you feel most happy, where you feel most comfortable. It also rules your assets, your possessions. And in the 8th house, you have to take care of your assets and avoid any major decision that is pertaining to your home. Your relationship will see some improvement because you will be forced to put some efforts. You will probably think through, reflect back at your past mistakes and take some corrective steps. Thereafter, on 5th of December, Jupiter is moving back to your 7th house in the sign of Gemini. This is where Jupiter will start behaving as if it is sitting in Sagittarius. So a great dignity for Jupiter, a not so good house, but mostly I would expect positive results. This is looking back at your 6th house. So firstly, it wants you to improve your daily routine, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. So this retrograde transit of Jupiter wants to improve matters related to your 6th house, which is service, seva, and your daily routine, and matters related to your 8th house, which is coping up with adversities in life. And of course, how you can do that to build your internal strength. Jupiter is having a very strong aspect on your ascendant. It will improve your personality, it will bring you the power of wisdom, the capacity for learning, and you will be more confident post 5th of December through March 2026 in terms of some decisions that you take with regards to your job. This time period can also bring in some job change, can bring in a fresh start towards your business, some new decisions that you will take, which could be the best interest towards yourself and also towards your business. But your health definitely needs some attention over the next few weeks. Continue to strengthen Jupiter, and my best wishes for you. Capricorn ascendant signs or the Capricorn moon signs. Jupiter, Devaguru Brihaspati is going Vakri or retrograde on 11th of November for the next 120 days. Now Jupiter for you becomes the third lord and the 12th lord. It shares a friendly relationship equation with your Lagna lord Shani. It's more of a neutral graha for your Lagna. Third house represents your valor, your courage, growth. Change is seen from this house. Movement or shift. Journeys are indicative of this house. Journey means either you travel or you start something new or you bring in a shift. It is also your 12th lord of higher self-consciousness, your losses, expenditure, your ability to help others by the virtue of donation. It also rules your bed comforts, your sleep. Devaguru Brihaspati is already making an exalted transit in your 7th house. Now it will go Vakri, retrograde. Though it's in a good dignity, but 7th house is not considered very good for Jupiter because it gains directional strength in the Lagna. In 7th house, it is losing direction. Moreover, now it will go retrograde. It will start acting as if it is in the sign of Capricorn, which is the debilitation sign for Jupiter. So it's a double whammy kind of a situation. Exercise caution between 11th of November till 5th of December with regards to your relationship, with regards to decisions pertaining to yourself. But towards the end of the day, it will increase your confidence and you will have the ability to rise from adversity. Jupiter is also looking back at your 6th house. It wants you to improve your daily routine, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Some decisions related to your job that you took in the past and how you can make or probably bring some corrective steps. Or you're likely to have similar patterns based on your previous job, previous line of work, or some old routine that you had in your life. This time period, you can also look at repayment of certain debts if you have. You need to have a renewed focus on your health, on your vitality. Till early December, it's mostly average, but after that, I would see a significant improvement in your health, in your well-being. On 5th of December, Jupiter will re-enter Gemini in your 6th house. This is where it is firstly looking back at the 5th house, which means it wants you to re-evaluate your future. With regards to connection from the past, there will always be a connection. And this is where you need to think through and alter your goals. You need to probably assess where you are with regards to some goals that you set in the past and whether you need to bring some changes which are in the best interest of yourself and your loved ones. Jupiter will be in a better dignity because it will behave as if it is sitting in the sign of Sagittarius, which is 7th from Gemini. It means it will be in great dignity, in a better dignity. It is forming a yoga as well, therefore, which is a Viparita yoga while being retrograde. It will have a very strong aspect on the 12th house, which means it is very supportive for spiritual pursuits, spiritual matters. It will increase your spiritual quotient. It will make you very much giving in nature. So you must look at giving donations related to Jupiter. Yellow pulses, yellow food items, turmeric, jaggery, these are some items which you can donate. You can also donate sweets, offer sweets to other people, and of course this is something which could be a potentially good remedy for you from a karmic standpoint. Use a Shadakshari Vishnu mantra, that is Om Vishname Namah, or a simple Guru mantra, that is Om Guruve Namah, 12 times. Your desire quotient will be extremely high between November through March 2026, and that is something which you need to channelize. As long as you stay away from indulgence, extravagance of any kind, your health and vitality is protected. Otherwise, it could be a little bit problematic for you, and my best wishes. Aquarius ascendant signs or the Aquarius moon signs. Devaguru Brihaspati Jupiter is going retrograde on 11th of November and it will stay in this motion till 11th of March 2026. It will be Vakri. This is bringing in some karmic repercussions, things related to the past. It is the time for reflection, and the depth in the reflection is going to significantly increase because Jupiter is going to move through two signs, the sign of Cancer and the sign of Gemini. For Aquarius ascendants, Jupiter is more of a neutral graha and it shares a friendly relationship with your Lagna Lord Saturn. However, it plays a very important role in financial matters, in in wealth related matters. It becomes your second lord of accumulation, your family, your dhan bhav, kutumba, that is family, and of course those people who you would like to protect. The house of consumption, food, and also speech. It becomes the Ekadash Bhav Lord as well, the 11th Lord of your Aya, income, material gains, your wider social network, and of course your illusions in life, because this is also the house of Maya and it represents bigger enemies. Now Devaguru Brihaspati will go Vakri in your 6th house in the sign of Cancer. In Cancer it is exalted. When it goes retrograde, it starts behaving as if it's sitting in the sign of Capricorn, which makes it feel like a debilitated Jupiter. So momentarily it will look back at your 5th house. So it wants you to re-evaluate some past practices that were not going right, that has a direct link to your future, towards your well-being, and that can protect you. You will have a renewed focus on your health, well-being, vitality. Your health and your well-being needs to be the number one priority for the coming weeks, particularly between 11th of November till 5th of December. There could be some minor issues. This time period could bring in travel as well, because Jupiter is having a strong aspect on the 12th house. So you will plan for foreign visits, foreign travel, rejuvenation, and for vacation purposes. It will also gradually increase your spiritual quotient. You must practice mindfulness. You must visit nature, connect with the nature. That is the most ideal remedy for you to channelize these energies. Thereafter, on 5th of December, Jupiter moves back to your 5th house in the sign of Gemini. And till 11th of March 2026, Jupiter will behave as if it is sitting in the sign of Sagittarius, which makes it in great dignity, or rather a better dignity this time. Firstly, it is in the house where it is the significator, it is retrograde, and it is behaving as if it's sitting in its office space. So it has the potential to deliver very good results pertaining to your children. You will have greater connection. You will try to rectify some past mistakes, either related to children, either related to your future pursuits, your creativity, and things related to your home, because Jupiter is also looking back at your 4th house. Those things that can make you feel happy. You will have a renewed focus on your personal priorities, which will be of greater importance to you than anything else. So lots of mindfulness practice, lots of connecting with the nature, and lots of rejuvenation that we would expect. As long as you stay ethical with regards to your decision making, there is no scope of corruption, and of course stay true, stay in the right path, in the right direction. Jupiter will be aspecting your 11th house. It will be a very strong 7th aspect while it is retrograde. It will create new means of material gains, material comfort. It will help you overcome opposition, overcome enemies. However, it is a very good time for you to plan ahead of the time. Use a Panchakshari mantra in order to channelize the best of these energies. A simple Shiva mantra, that is Namah Shivaya. Look up to him and continue to strengthen your decision making and your inner personality. My best wishes for you. Pisces ascendant signs or the Pisces moon signs. Jupiter, Devaguru Brihaspati, is going retrograde Vakri on 11th of November for about 120 days, moving through 2 signs. Jupiter is your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant. He rules your 1st house, which represents yourself, your body, your vitality, your immunity, who you are. It is about your intelligence. It also becomes the 10th Lord of your work, your Karya Bhava, your profession, your actions in the society, what you do to survive and sustain yourself in this world. Now here, Jupiter, whenever it goes retrograde, it will have an impact regardless of your Dasha Antardasha. Firstly, it is going Vakri in Cancer in your 5th house. So it's a very good transit though. 5th house, Jupiter is a significator. It rules Kendra houses. It is your Lagna Lord. It is forming a nice yoga because the quadrant Lord is placed in the trinal house and it is exalted. But when it goes retrograde, it is bringing some unfulfilled purpose from your past. So it wants you to re-evaluate things related to your home, things related to your comfort. It's looking back at the 4th house. So you have to do an exercise here. Maybe some changes in your home, some settings need to be changed. You will do some renovation work. You will probably fix some issues related to your car or related to your possession to feel more content. Now here, Jupiter is also behaving as if it is sitting in the sign of Capricorn, which is its debilitation sign. So it is somehow losing its dignity momentarily. So This time period is not the most ideal time for you to make big decisions, but it's a very short window. It will have a very strong aspect on your 11th house, and this is where it will increase your chances of earning income, getting recognition, or some sort of bonus or incentive could come. This could happen all of a sudden. On 5th of December, it re-enters the sign of Gemini, which falls in your 4th house. And this is where it wants you to now start re-evaluating your efforts, your past practices, and bring in some growth opportunities. But you will be very focused, very diligent about your spiritual practices. You will be very focused about your personal priorities. Your personal life will matter most to you, even more than your professional life. Now this Jupiter will act as if it is sitting in the sign of Sagittarius, which makes it in great dignity. Your work environment is going to improve because you will be more confident. So important decisions can be taken after 5th of December, wherein Jupiter will be a little bit better for you in terms of its dignity, in terms of what is it's trying to do. It has a very strong 7th aspect on your 10th house. So this can bring in newer opportunities. This can bring a shift of your residence, or you make some internal changes within your residence. You can get some growth opportunities. However, you have to keep your ego aside. So as long as you can manage your ego, as long as you stick to your fundamentals, see, this is also a time for learning. 4th house represents fundamental education. So you have to go back to your roots. You have to unlearn and then learn and then continue to relearn, reskill yourself. And this is how you will also practice humility. Continue to strengthen Jupiter in your case. Use a simple Guru mantra, Om Guruve Namah, or Jupiter's Bij mantra. Your work situation is likely to improve, and your health will also see significant improvement. Your vitality is going to be there. You will have a good lifestyle. This is also a very good time to increase spiritual practices. If you start yoga, meditation, sadhana, or any spiritual practices, any routine in the morning, you have the capacity to bring consistency in these practices, in these routines in your life. Start from your home, and please also declutter your home to bring more prosperity in your life, and my best wishes for you. So friends, this was yet another unique video on Jupiter's retrograde transit, a very detailed one but precise at the same time, and how to read this transit, how to understand the energies of a retrograde planet. I hope you like this video. Please share it with your family and friends. Stay tuned for more such videos on my channel, particularly my upcoming beautiful presentation on the annual transit of 2026, which I'm going to make in the most unique manner. Stay tuned. Thank you very much. God bless you all.